Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernardo from the BJTechNews, and today guys I want to go over work folders. Yes, within Windows Server 2012. As you can see on my desktop, I actually have Windows Server 2012 R2. I've never seen this feature within the server manager side before. I read up on it. It looks pretty interesting. My IT manager wanted me to do some research on it, and I'm actually doing a video for you guys. Now, from my understanding, work folders is one of the new features introduced with Windows Server 2012 R2, which enables PCIT functionalities. Now, PCIT basically means people-centric IT. It enables users access to their work-related files on their device configured, regardless if the device is joined on the domain or not, or the device is connected directly to the company's private LAN over the internet. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit, and I wanted to know how to set it up. So I have a virtual machine DC. I have an 8.1 machine right here. I'm going to show you guys that this is an 8.1 machine. It's Pro. I actually have two virtual machines for my this testing environment. My domain controller basically has DHCP, DNS, and for this to work, you guys need to have a particular role installed into your machine. So I already have it installed already, but I'm going to show you guys how I did it. You go to Manage, Add Roles and Features. You go to Next, Next, Next again. And within select your role, you want to just expand file and storage services, expand file iSCSI services, and the option that you want is work folders. When you click on work folders, it's going to add another additional file. Not a file, but another feature. The feature, I believe it's web something GUI, something like that. Just make sure you add those features, install it. Again, best practice is reboot your machine, and once you reboot your machine, you're good to go. Now, how would this work? Now, I actually, within my Active Directory, I already created a group, and I call it BTN members. BTN members is whoever's within this group will have access to this particular folder. Now, if you give this work folders to different people within your in your environment, if they drop something into one particular folder, it syncs up throughout the other folders. It's a nice work folder sharing kind of thing. It's like a Dropbox. I kind of like that. It's a in-house Dropbox feature. So I created a group. This group, I have two users, which I created U1, U2, which in later videos, I'm going to show you guys that U1, U2 are going to be logged into 8.1, and I'm going to show you how to connect to your work folder. But I created the group. 2 members, good to go. That's the Active Directory part of it. And it's time to create the work folder. Now, creating the work folder within Server Manager is pretty simple. You're going to go to File, Storage, Services. Within there, you're going to see a new option called Work Folders. I already have one already created because I was testing it out, and it's a lot fun, and I pretty enjoyed it a lot. So what I'm going to do is create a new folder with you guys. So I'm going to go to Task, New Sync Share. It makes sure that the folder that you're sharing out to your group or your users is formatted, or the volume that the file or the folder is going to be located is an NTFS. Okay, make sure that is an NTFS volume. We're going to click next on that. From here, this is the server that we want this particular folder to be shared out. If you already have a folder being shared out into your group, you can actually pick it, or you can enter a path. So I'm going to enter a new one, and I'm going to call it BTN02. And we're going to hit next. The folder doesn't exist. Do you want to create it? Yes. Now, from this portion right here, you have 3 options. One option, you can either use the user alias, which maintains the capability with existing user folders that uses alias for the username. You got user alias at domain. It eliminates the conflict between identical user alias and different domains, which is, I don't know, I can't really tell you what's best practice because this is all new to me. I'm going to pick alias and domain because it looks a little bit more secure for me to have my users log into the work group. I kind of like this feature as well. Syncing a subfolder can be useful if you currently redirect multiple folders for users and want to use this sync share with only one of these, such as the document folder. So I'm gonna click on this, and let's I don't know, let's call it Dropbox. Let's call it Dropbox. If the subfolder doesn't exist, it will be created for every user assigned to the work folder instance. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna hit next. I'm going to leave it the name as that. You can give it a description that you guys want. Hit next. Now, who's going to have access to this particular folder? I'm going to add, and I'm going to give it the group that I created. Now, whoever's inside that group are the ones that are going to have access to this particular work folder. We're going to hit next. Now, device policy, you have two options. You got to encrypt work folders, and you got automatically lock screen and required a password. Now, take note that the encryption policies request that the documents in the work folders on the client device be encrypted with an enterprise ID. Now, the enterprise ID by default is the user primary SMTP email address, aka basically the proxy address of the user's object within Active Directory. So I'm actually going to encrypt the work folders, but I also forgot one thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Let's go back, and this option right here, I don't really like this option at all. Now, if you leave this option, by default, the admin will not be able to access the user data on the server. If you want to have the admin access to user data, uncheck this, okay, guys? Make sure you uncheck this, because if you're not part of this group, if you're not part of the whatever group that you're giving access to this, and you're a full administrator in your domain, you're not going to have access to the files, which pretty sucks, right? So make sure you uncheck that. Let's go to next. I'm going to encrypt it, hit next, and a basic rundown what's going to happen, and no cluster row on this, and we're going to create the folder. And we're back. So it's really quick. Creating the folder is really fast. We're going to close on this. As you can see, I got both folders here. And one thing I like to do is basically give access or enable SMB access to the particular folder. This will allow you to navigate to the PC location and navigate it like a regular network folder. So we're gonna, I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna go into my C drive, go to my BTN02, because this is the work folder that we just created. Go to properties, sharing, share, and I'm actually going to find people, and I'm gonna do BTN members, because whoever's on this group, I want them to have read and write. So that basically means they're capable to do if I go to BJDC1, I should see I have BTO01 here, because I actually enabled the SMB on it. So I'm actually gonna give read and write, and I'm gonna share it. Yep, done. And if I go back into, close this and close this, go back, and there we go, BTN02 is on it. Now, if I did not, yeah, that's it. That's about it. That is what workgroups is all about. Again, it's really simple creating the workgroups within the Windows Server 2012 R2. I think on the next video, guys, I'm going to show you how to set up the client side. There's a bunch of things that you need to do on the client side to get this stuff working properly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave comments below. Again, stay tuned for the next video. I'm probably going to have that stuff out pretty soon. It's going to be broken down into two videos. Setting up the client as well as connecting into your work group within your client, and I'm gonna show you guys how that works in live action. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Don't forget about hitting that like button, and catch you guys later. Peace out.